Oh, yep. I just saw it go live.
We are
Yay! We're live. Hi,
live.
everybody. You don't know me from Adam. My name is Kristine Shreve. I am the Director of Marketing and Outreach for Applique Getaway. And Alexis has been awesome enough to allow me the opportunity to talk to her and you today. And I'm so excited about that because I have good stuff to talk about, which would be Applique Getaway. And I feel like I should say, and this is Alexis, but you know who Alexis is. I've been hosting way too many things. This is not good. But, or maybe it is good. Who knows? But anyway, what we're here to talk about today is Applique Getaway. And for those of you who may not be familiar, though I know Alexis has been doing a lot of promotion, so you might already know Applique Getaway is a trade show. It happens in Irving, Texas, July 15th through 17th. It's awesome. There's embroidery, there's sublimation, there's rhinestones, there's all sorts of good things. Oh, I see we have a Facebook user here. If you are getting the dreaded Facebook user, go to www.streamyard.com/Facebook and you can give them permission to show your name. But thank you for being here, whomever you are, or you can just tell us in the comments who you are. That works too. And
Reveal
yeah, can
yourself.
you tell I've hosted a lot of these things?
I was like, Kristine, you go ahead. You do it.
Woo, I got it. Okay. So what we're here to talk about is I want to ask you, Alexis, because I'm curious about this with everybody. What attracted you to Applique Getaway? Why did you decide that you wanted to be an instructor?
So first of all, I do it every week, almost every day on Facebook, and I am connecting with a lot of the attendees that will be there. So it just made sense. I really, really enjoyed doing the virtual one in December, even though that was a super crazy time, as the holidays always are. But I just love to connect. I've been to plenty of other conferences, events, and it's just something about being there in person and feeling the energy of the room and meeting new faces. That's what really fuels me.
Well, and I will say, as someone who's taught in person for a number of years and also taught online, there's something about sitting in front of the people. It's a whole different energy. And yes, I saw that comment. I was very excited. And she does have amazing classes, and we're so excited to have her with us this year. I can't even tell you. You were one of the ones that I knew, like, as soon as somebody told me I think it was Jeff who told me who you were, and I was like, we need to get her. we need to have her come. And I'm pretty dedicated to, I want a really good slate of instructors. So we were really happy to have you become one of those instructors. So made me very happy.
I appreciate that. And you know what? I cannot sing your praises enough of how comfortable you make me feel when it comes to just going through the whole process, asking the questions, explaining. And then I just saw Sheila pop up here. Let me put her
and Linda Williams too.
Yeah, and you encouraged us to collab with each other, and she's actually one of the digitizers that I'm going to collab with for the In the Hoop Pouch Simplified class.
Awesome. That's so
super
great.
Super excited about that.
Yeah, Sheila you're going to love her, and she's so great. And Linda is, I think, volunteering for the event, and I'm really excited to meet her too.
Oh, Linda, yay! Linda, I've seen Linda pop up in the group a lot. So actually, let me go ahead, and if you are not registered for it yet, let me put the link in the chat. And you guys, bear with me. This is super fun, but I don't really use StreamYard.
I think you're doing great. You got getting the comments up, down. You got, you're doing great, really.
Well, we say
and trust me, I'm a control freak about this stuff. So if I tell you you're doing well, you're doing well. Because I have done so many of these that I'm just like, get out of the way. Let me do it. I can do it.
But no, this is great. I'm loving this, everything about it.
Yeah, and there is now in the comments Alexis's that doesn't sound right, but anyway,
it's even harder to write.
Yeah, it's her affiliate link. So if you register using her link, she gets a little cut of what you pay. So if you haven't registered for the show yet, and seriously, people, if you haven't registered for the show, why
What are you
not?
waiting for?
And I'm not going to say what I famously said last year because that gets me in trouble. But last year, I basically told people to get off their behinds and go register, except I used a different word.
I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm trying to be better about that. So I'm trying to be nice and not swear. I don't know. It's a habit and I need to get over it. But anyway, get off your behinds and go register. Let's put it that way. Because now. Oh, there you go. Linda says, stop waiting, register. You will love it. Well worth the money. I like Linda. I think we need to hire Linda to come and be one of our promo people because she's good.
Right.
But, I'm so excited that everybody is going to be there. We're so excited that Alexis was going to be there, and Alexis is going to be there. And let's talk for a minute, because I know we did this in your vendor voices, but I also want to talk about, tell us what you're teaching. And since it's not my feed, I don't have the class titles up. Sorry. But give us a little preview. Now, I know there's an In the Hoop class.
Mm-hmm. So I have, I've committed them to memory. So I have a Patches Made Easy class. Yes. And that one is exactly what the title says, literally Patches Made Easy. It's going to be, I do have the patch file. It is going to be a very fun patch that you will want to use. I always try to, in all of my classes that I do, whether it's my ship and stitch or any of my tutorials, if I'm going to provide a file, I want it to be a file that you can use for yourself, or you can either sell it in your embroidery business. So that's a big deal for me. And then the other class is In the Hoop Pouches Simplified. So basically that one is an In the Hoop design for like a zipper pouch purse. They come in plenty of sizes. I believe I'm going to do a 5x7 one. I like the 5x7 sizes. That's pretty universal. And I sent out an email a couple weeks ago asking people if they wanted lined or unlined. They chose lined, obviously. So I will be doing a lined zipper pouch from Sheila's library. And
fun.
So that'll be super fun. Now I just have to pick the fabric. I meant to bring some of it up yesterday on So Sweet Sunday to show, see if we could get some input, but I forgot. I love me some voting and helping me choose stuff. So I'm sure I'll have another opportunity to pull it up and get everyone to help, or I'll just post it. Who knows?
Well, it sounds like fun. And I know from what I've been seeing, the patches classes are really hot this year. So, and patches are, speaking as someone who formerly in another life was director of marketing for a company that made, among other things, patches. Patches are a huge profit center. Huge profit center. Love it. Thank you, Linda. That's so sweet. And that honestly is one of the things I have to confess. People think honestly that I started this show, and I'm like, no, it wasn't mine. I've only been with the show. This is my second year. And when I went last year, the thing that got me the most was how welcoming and friendly and open everybody was. You kind of wonder if there's people that have gone a long time. Are there going to be, cliques? Are there going to be people that aren't going to want to be, aren't going to want to interact with new people? It's not like that at all. It's an open, warm, fun environment. It's a lot of people that like the same things that you like, unless you're me. And I'm just there because, I talk well, but that's honestly kind of how it works. But I'm okay. I'm okay with it. But I also want to talk about the panel, because you agreed, and I'm so excited about this. You agreed to be on the panel that we're doing on balancing business and family. And we have a great panel lineup. It's Lindsay and Jeff Fuller and Nikki Adamkowitz and you. And so we've got people in a lot of various stages of life and a lot of different types of situations. So we'll get a really good perspective. But I want to ask you, because this is a question, and I'm getting into women in business territory a little bit here. Sorry, but how do you balance that? I mean, you're a single mom, I believe, with a teenage daughter.
Oh, that sounds.
How how do you deal
with
with
the way
that?
you said that? That sounds so different from single mom, teenage daughter. That sounds so. Whew, that made my heart drop.
Well, I mean, it's a perennial question. How do you deal with making sure your daughter gets what she needs, making sure you have a life and you get what you need, making sure the business gets what it needs, making sure that you're making money so that everything keeps going. I mean, I don't have children or actually a relationship at this moment. So,
we'll have to do a podcast about that too. I can talk
God, don't get me started. Yeah. But
so
that's a question.
So, and the funny thing is I have never, I don't want to say identified as, but I've never really taken on that title of single mother. You rarely to never hear me say I am a single mother of blah, blah, blah. I'm a single mother. I just don't, because I have a very strong community. My mom, is here locally. Her dad is very involved in her life. Her other grandparents, her stepmother. So she has a very strong support system, and it also helps me out. And when I got to the heart posture understanding of relying on your community and not, for the lack of better terms, but just not fighting against the help that you have, it got so much easier. The older that she got, it got easier because she was a lot more understanding. Now she has the fact that she talks my head off, that has not gone away, and I appreciate that now in the teenage years. Sometimes I'm just like, Kira, can I have a minute, please? Because her being the only child, and then just me being in the house, we're all we have inside the house when we're home alone. So she has to talk to me, I have to talk to her, and that's great until a moment like I'm really trying to focus on something in my business, or if I've just had a long day. So it's definitely a balancing act. I will kind of just go on record and say, if you think of a balancing scale, it's very rare that it's totally balanced. It's always going to be something that tips it. So you have to just figure out, once you get too far one way, what do you need to add up here to bring that back down? So for me, balancing is never going to be completely even. It's going to be just going back and forth between those ups and downs. That's the best way I can explain it.
Well, remember all that stuff for the panel, because that was good.
I know.
That was good. So, but the panel is really exciting. This is something we're trying new this year. And this is mostly because I wanted to, honestly. But I've seen panel discussions at other shows, and they're really interesting because you get a lot of different perspectives. So there's a lot of reasons to come to this show. And ultimately, let's not forget, that's part of the reason we're doing this, is because we want to convince you guys that you should come and join us at the show. You should come see Alexis. You should come learn from Alexis. You should come learn from all the other fantastic instructors we have. You should come and visit our vendors. You should come and hang out with us and laugh and joke and probably drink. And, I'm not saying that there are some people that keep wine in their sinks, but there are some people that keep wine in their bathroom sinks. Just a thing.
Why not?
I've been invited to have drinks with a few people. I'm like, okay, whatever. But, it's just really, honestly, the main thing is it's just a fun, open, supportive environment. We're not going to have an opinion about how you do your craft, or if you're a business, or if you're a crafter, or if you're a hobbyist who makes stuff for your grandkids or whatever it is. We're not going to have an opinion about that. We don't care how you do what you do. We just care that you do it. How about that?
And come and fellowship with us.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. That's a good word for it. And honestly, never underestimate the value of spending time with people who like the things you like.
That is very true.
Because, even as someone who doesn't do any of the things that the rest of you do, I get energy of how energized you get about what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you, Linda. You're just my
that.
little booster today. You're making me feel so good.
We're getting good at this comment thing. I realize you can hide it and all this stuff. That's cute. I'm liking
Yeah, I mean, we're getting comments, which I love, but you're handling this great. I mean, I'm impressed. So go Alexis. Yay. So really, I mean, I think the only really other thing to do is just tell everybody why they should come to the show, which I've kind of been doing. But you tell them, Alexis. Tell them why they should come to the show.
Why you should come there is because it's the opportunity of a lifetime to meet, like Kristine just said, plenty of other people that are doing the same thing you're doing. I always like to call, in my community, in So Sweet Academy, we call it like-minded stitchers. And I encourage people to get stitch buddies. I have a couple of friends currently that I've met at shows, and you would not guess that we haven't been friends for a lifetime. So having that one thing that you can connect on and just understand, because sometimes your family, they don't always understand why you're super excited because you got through a stitch and you did not buckle, you know, your stabilizer didn't buckle or pucker or anything like that. So just to have people that completely understand the small things, it's just different. And then just come and learn. You would be surprised at the transformations that happen when you're in the building, when you're actually able to see it with your own eyes, speak it out of your mouth, hear it with your ears. You know, you have all your senses involved, touching the things, going, trying out new things. A lot of things that you see on there, people may only have on their website. You want to go touch it. You want to go feel it. You want to go see how this is done. You want to meet the person that's digitizing your designs. I can't tell you how many people I got to the event and I was like, oh, okay, so this is the person behind this. And this is, so now when I reference it, I have an actual tangible person and not just a support at soandso.com.
Definitely. And Linda has some good advice there. Bring a notebook, the notes that you learn, the tricks that you learn. Definitely. And I have to say, this is really good advice because last year I didn't bring a notebook and I thought, oh, I'm going to remember all these people that I met that I said I do this thing or that thing or whatever. And I forgot, like, you know, I tried, but there was so much. So this year I will have a notebook. Definitely. I'm already getting a special little carrying thing, a little purse made so I can carry.
I'm getting sad that I'm getting to the end of my notebook. I bought this notebook. I was like, oh, it'll be a while before I fill this up. I'm getting to the end of it. So
oh my goodness.
I never thought I would be that person that finishes out a complete notebook, but this is kind of like my favorite though.
Well, you really have to when you get busy. I mean, I have to say, I was never a calendar person until very recently. And now I live by that thing because I can't remember all the stuff that's happening if I don't have it on the calendar. Right. So,
and if you're like me, you have it on the calendar and you still kind of mix it up.
It happens. You know, I just, because I have so many things happening right now, because I'm doing a lot of publicity before the show, obviously, I'm kind of like hyper focused. Okay, what's next? What do I have to do? But I had a thought and now I lost it. Oh, I hate it when that happens. Oh, it'll come back to me eventually. It was something else about why you should come to the show. Why did I forget? I don't know. Anyway.
Because you just should.
Because you just should. You really just should. That's honestly the. Why the heck? But not? I will say this: there was Linda made a comment earlier where she said, "Come to meet your crafting heroes." That is actually a huge thing. Come to get and see in person all these people that maybe like Alexis that you've seen at So Sweet Academy, or Sheila Ryan at Designs by Baby Moon, or the embroidery nerds who are going to cause mayhem, I'm pretty sure. Oh, don't get me started. But I mean, I love those guys, but oh boy. But that's another thing. There's something about sitting face to face with someone that you've learned from and being able to talk to them. And I've had some of the best conversations just sitting in the restaurant or sitting in the lounge, and somebody comes up and says, "Hey, do you have a minute?" And we have this big discussion. And, you know, it's that's part of it too. That's something that, as much as streaming is amazing and I love it, you don't get the same. It's not the same as being face to face with someone and looking in their eyes and being able to talk to them. So, or the other thing too, from the teacher perspective, and you'll get this year, Alexis, when you teach, is that if you're sitting in the class, you can always tell the people who maybe aren't understanding the point as well as you want them to. And you can't get that same kind of interaction if you're looking at somebody on a screen. But if they're sitting in front of you and they're puzzled, or they've kind of got their brow furrowed, or they're, shaking their head, or they're going, I don't know, you can see that, and you can help them in that moment. So it's an amazing communication that happens between the instructor and the class. Plus, I mean, the laughter that happens in the classes because somebody says something funny, or somebody does something silly or whatever it is, it's so fun. No, and that's part of the fun of it too, is that you plan it, but you never know what happens until you get there. So
that's true. Just be in the building.
Yep. It's just, I mean, the whole thing, honestly, there's part of me that's going, I can't believe how close we are. I still have so much to do. But at the same time, I can't wait, because I just want to see everybody and hug everybody and talk to everybody and get to meet all the people that I've seen being so supportive and so amazing. And I'll get to meet you in person, Alexis, and that's so exciting.
Excited.
And I've already threatened pretty much to sneak into the back of everybody's class. So
come on in.
Well, I do what I can. Lindsay and I try to balance it. So one of us is always on the floor and available when the show's running, so that we, if something does happen, there's someone the hotel can find and get to right away. So, and yes, Linda says get VIP. Linda, I'm seriously going to hire you. Good Lord, woman. VIP and VIP Pro. I got producers all over the place. You're good, Linda. You reminded me. If you are registering for the show, VIP and VIP Pro are a little more expensive, but they do offer you access to classes that basic level registration will not get you. They do have lunch. There's an extra goodie bag. There's a shirt that is available to VIP and VIP Pro registrants that is being designed by Nikki Adamkowitz, the Sassy Subber. So we're really excited about that. So there's all sorts of stuff. When and where? It is July 15th through 17th at the Sheraton DFW in Irving, Texas. And it's www.appliquegetaway.com to register, or you can use the affiliate link that Alexis has put in the comments.
I'm trying to see if I could paste the date, but I put the Applique Getaway portion in there.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you've been doing great with your graphics and everything that have been going out. So, and I remember the other thing. I also was going to say prizes. There are giveaways, there are prizes. I know that the embroidery nerds are planning a scavenger hunt. God help us. Yeah, I don't even know. There's all sorts of things happening, but the vendors and the instructors are very generous, and they donate a lot of great stuff that we get to give away to all of you. There are goodie bags. There is our spirit coordinator, who is amazing, and she is a prize ninja, and she ambushes people and gives them prizes. It's so fun. She's like, oh my God, she's a ball of energy that I think we could harness her and power a city. Yes, the passport thing is also happening again this year, Linda, where you can get a card, and there are certain vendors that sign up for it. If you go to their booth and get a stamp, you get entered into a special drawing if you fill out your whole card. So lots of fun, good things happening. It's just going to be awesome. And I'm so excited about the classes this year. Seriously, stop me when you get tired of this, because I will go all day.
Oh no, I am here for it. I'm loving this. I'm like looking at the comments, looking up here.
Yeah, we're getting some nice comments. It's awesome. But the class slate this year, we really tried to be intentional about who we asked to come and teach and what we talked to them about teaching and why we wanted them there. So I really don't feel like there are very many holes in the schedule this year. I mean, maybe the one thing we're missing, we wanted somebody to teach maybe laser or glow forge, but we couldn't come up with anyone who would do that. And the other thing was we were kind of looking for an Etsy expert, but I keep searching. But the slate of classes, I mean, we've got business classes, we've got, how to make stuff, we've got theory classes, we've got sublimation classes, we've got just, I mean, all sorts of things. So you can learn. And if you run a business, there's stuff you can learn about how to run your business better. If you do it for a hobby or you're a crafter, there are things where you can learn how to make new things or learn new techniques. If you want to digitize or want to learn more about that, holy crap, we have digitizing classes. I mean, our founder, Lindsay, is a digitizer. So big surprise there.
Much needed.
Yes. And we've got hat classes this year. Jeff's teaching a hat class and Justin is teaching a Puff 3D class, which, holy crap, if you can learn how to do that and you're a business, you can make some serious bank. So
I love their puff designs. I enjoyed their puff off. Okay. Can we talk them into bringing that back?
Well, I'm actually doing, God help me. I'm not religious, so I probably just did that totally wrong. But I'm doing a live on Friday with all three of the embroidery nerds and Nikki, the Sassy Suburb. So that's going to be complete. I mean, I said to someone that it feels like I'm the ringmaster and they're sending me in without a whip or a chair. I'm just going to have to go. So yes, Linda, there is a wreath class with Wendy Skaggs. She's also teaching her popular hooded towel class, which is a two-parter this year. And another class that escapes me at the moment, but she is teaching the wreath class. There's a class about how to dress your elf on the shelf, which I think is so adorable. I can't even stand it. And so, and when the instructor suggested it to me, I'm like, I never would have thought of that, but that's very cool. And we also have for people with children who are maybe thinking about wanting to start a business or being entrepreneurial, we have a class taught by Jeff and Adam Fuller. And Adam is 11. He is a child entrepreneur. He runs his own business. And he's going to be teaching with his dad, and they're going to talk about the ins and outs of having a child entrepreneur, how to protect them, how to set up their business. And Adam's going to give you the kids' perspective, because I think what's interesting about that is that a lot of times people say, oh, he's a kid. He's going to get bored. He's going to decide he likes girls. He's going to decide he wants to play soccer. He doesn't want to do, we're going to go through all this to set this up, and then he's going to get bored with it. And I don't think that's true in Adam's case, but I don't think that's true in a lot of kids. I think kids have more drive than we think they do.
Exactly. If you just tap into their passion and just find it young and then nurture that, that's exactly what my mom did with mine. I mean, she showed me what I needed to do, and then gave me the tools to build on it, and then I ran with it. Right. So if you just, like with my daughter, I can identify a lot of things that she loves to do. So anything she tells me, oh, I want to try this, I go buy the whole kit for her, because that's what my mom did for me. I could not imagine her getting older in life and saying, I could have been this, I would have done that, but I didn't have anybody that was going to push me towards it or get me the supplies that I need. She is all about doing her nails, because she has the nail business. We kind of slowed down with it a little bit, but that's her thing that she likes to have fun with. And then anything crafty, because she sees me doing crafts. She sees my mom, basically everyone in my family. So that's the direction she goes. And I can't wait to sit in on that class. I definitely want to see that. She was going to be going with me, but we wound up having another family arrangement that she needed to attend. So she's not going to be at the Applique Getaway. But I definitely will be in that class with Jeff and Adam because we did a collaboration a while back with my ship and stitch, and Adam taught it. And listen, he stole the show. I just sat back and I was like, this is awesome. I'm just here just for moral support. This is all you. So he's great.
Oh, Adam he's an amazing kid, and I'm looking forward to meeting him in person too. But he makes me laugh because I did a live with his dad last Friday, last Thursday, someday last week. And Adam popped in a few times, and he steals the whole show every time. But he's for an 11-year-old, he's just such a self-possessed kid. You know, he really knows what he wants to do. And I give kudos to his parents too, because they support him and they let him be him, but they still have, you know, guidelines and discipline and all that kind of stuff. And you got to love it. So come and see them, and you can learn from how they're doing it, you know. And that's another thing. I have to say this, that's another thing that really makes me excited about this show, is that we're trying different things. There are not a lot of trade shows out there that would say an 11-year-old, yeah, we'll let him teach. They wouldn't take the chance just in case. And we were like, as soon as I think Lindsay came up with the idea, and as soon as she said it, I was like, oh, we got to do that.
Yeah. That's you know, and you never know what that can grow into in future events. So it's just, you know, it's just
I have to say, I mean, not that I want to give anything away, but you know, I'm already thinking about what we can do for younger crafters or embroiderers or sublimators or whoever for next year. Can we have, you know, some classes for them, or can we do a gathering for them, or whatever it is? And I don't know how any of that'll turn out, obviously, because there's only so much time, and, you know, there's only so much we can do, but it's on my mind. So
I think it's a great idea.
Well, I think I mean, you know, we talk about how kids are all about video games, or kids don't have any discipline, or they don't want to work, or whatever it is. And I'm like, you know, a lot of times it's because they don't have anybody fostering it.
Yep, that's very true.
You know, you need someone to tell you. I mean, when I was growing up, I've been a writer since I was, you know, like 6. But I've been a writer since birth, probably. But I wrote my first story when I was 6.
Oh, wow.
And I had a grandmother who was always like, you're going to write an amazing book someday. You're going to write a novel. She gave me a little ornament that I still have for my Christmas tree one year that said my book on it. You know, she just really believed in that. And so should I ever write a book, it's dedicated to her, obviously. But, you know, somebody looked at my dream and said, you can do it. And that's what I want to do for some other people. So
that's awesome.
I don't know. I just went off on a tangent there.
No, I love it. I love
when
it.
You let me go.
I love it. I'm doing that with Kira now. She has to read 2 novels this summer. So we went to Barnes and Noble. I let her choose and everything. And the thing is, that's how she buys phone time. If I walk by and she's on that phone or on, I call it tiki-taki, but it's TikTok. If she's on TikTok, I'm like, how far are you in that book? When are you going to be done? You know, you got to start another one. The summer's almost over. So you really have to get them involved. You have to get them off the internet, because we give them these phones. We're guilty of it. I will be the first to say, you know, I pay the phone bill. I provided the phone, so I can't fuss and get mad with her when she's on it all day. But I definitely have to still give her other outlets and other options.
Yeah, I have to laugh because my parents, now I realize this dates me, but probably you're not too surprised that I'm older than 20.
No.
We didn't have phones when I was growing up. So my parents would actually limit my reading time, because if you let me, I would sit and read all day. That was all I would do. So my parents were like, we're taking your book. Go outside.
I don't think that ever happens these days.
Probably not anymore. And if I were growing up now, I would probably be a little different. But I was just always a reader. So I I was perfectly happy. Give me a comfy chair somewhere and a book to read. And I was like, that's it. That's all I need. So
I didn't fall in love with reading until probably high school.
Yeah. I taught myself to read when I was 4, and that was it. Once I figured out what the words meant, I was like, that I'm gone. But this has nothing to do with Applique Getaway.
Nothing at all, but it's fun. Listen, that's the best conversations.
A little bit more about me. But let's see. Linda says, if you are on the fence of doing any craft, Applique Getaway is for you. It will help you see your focus and encouragement. That's a nice, Linda, definitely. I should hire you, even though my marketing staff is me. I appreciate all the support. It's very, very helpful. Thank you. And that's another thing. I want to say this. The people who come to the show, the level of support and the number of people who come back, I think speaks very well for the show. There aren't a lot of people who go to a show every year and say, I love this show. I love these people. I look forward to it. It's like a highlight on my calendar. I mean, and granted, commercial trade shows are a little different animal, but the level of loyalty that exists to Lindsay and to this show is huge. And I think that speaks well for the show. So, it's part of the reason I came on board. I was like, okay, this seems like a good group to be a part of. So,
and up until recently, I didn't realize that you didn't embroider. Like you fit in completely. I was like, one day I said, what does Kristine do? Oh,
nothing.
Not embroidery, but she is great at what she does. I mean, listen, you are a big asset to it, because when I think of Applique Getaway, I think about you. So,
well, that was kind of, it was sort of by design and kind of unintentional. When Lindsay hired me, she hired me to be the face, because she's getting more comfortable on camera, but she's not hugely comfortable on camera. And thank you, Linda. I appreciate that. Linda. And she wanted somebody to do what she calls the peopling part, which is this kind of stuff. And, being goofy on camera and talking about the show and, doing the vendor voices interviews and all that stuff. And she contacted me and she said, hey, I have this job. Do you know anybody who might want it? Or if you want it, I'd love to have you. And I was like, well, let's talk. And we talked, and she's amazing. If you have not met Lindsay, she is just an amazing, intelligent powerhouse of a woman.
Had her on Zoom.
Who built this thing. Yeah. Who built this show from the ground up. For a long time, it was just her and her family doing this.
Wow.
Yeah. And, this is, I think, the 13th or 14th show, or no, really? I'm sorry. Not that many. 9th or 9th show, 8th show, something like that.
And I don't know. It's twice a year, right?
Well, the live one happens in July, and then there's a virtual show that happens in November. So we were talking about potentially maybe doing a second live show, but honestly, we're kind of moving away from that, because first of all, finding a venue is really hard that isn't like so expensive that it's going to price it out of where most people could come.
Right.
And the other thing is, shows are just a lot of work. I mean, the moving parts to make a show happen there's a lot of them. So we're looking at some other things. I have some ideas. I want to really get more into education. So we're talking about doing some stuff there. Lindsay is thinking that she might like to start doing some online teaching for Linny Penny, which is her company. So we're talking about that. I have some other things I want to do in other places. So I'm looking at that. So we'll see what happens. But for now, this is the flagship show in Texas. It's always, and for those of you that always say, why can't you come to Cincinnati, or why can't you come to Maine, or why can't you come to wherever? It's probably not moving from Texas. Lindsay lives in Texas.
It's easier when your connects are there.
Well, and I asked the same question. I'm like, we you could come to Michigan. Michigan's good.
We could take this show on the road.
Yeah, we could. You know, there are traveling shows that go to different places, but I can't imagine the logistics of that. That just makes me tired thinking about it. But
we can talk on the back end about that. I have a couple of resources for that if in the event she does ever plan to. So
it is, you know, I mean, like I said, we're still kind of talking a little bit about maybe a second show. Well, thank you, Linda. I am not driving from Michigan. I am getting on a plane because there's no flipping way. I did the drive from Michigan to Houston once.
Oh.
3 days in a box truck with no air conditioning.
No.
I was ready to hang myself.
I would have just pulled over and been like, you know what? Go on without me.
Well, it was for a trade show, and I was doing it on behalf of the company I worked for at the time. And in the company's defense, the air conditioning was working. Something just happened and it died. So the poor guy that I was with, he was working the show with me. We were just like, yep, just murder us, please.
No, I can't do it.
Because there's just no more. But so we're going on 41 minutes now, and we're almost at noon, and I know that there are things coming up. So as much as I would love to just keep talking about Applique Getaway forever, I think we probably should cut this short. So
we have to be productive for the day.
Yeah, we have to go do stuff. It kind of sucks, but you know, that's how it goes.
Right.
So I just want to say thank you, Alexis, for letting me talk to your group. Thank you to all of you for listening to me ramble on about all the stuff that I rambled on about. And Applique Getaway. You want to put your link up one more time just to let them know?
Absolutely.
So Alexis is going to put up her link again. This is an affiliate link. There you go. So if you sign up using this link, she gets a cut. Thank you, Linda, for all your great comments and your support. We so appreciate it. Thank you, everybody who was here. We appreciate it very much. Not my group, but I'm hosting. So
listen, y'all. I was like, Kristine,
me talk to everybody.
I was like, Kristine, you gotta take the lead on this one. So
hey, I'm an old pro at this now, so I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, all right. Thank you, everybody. You have the controls, Alexis, so you got to hit the end broadcast button.
All right, you guys, thanks for tuning in. Remember, it does not have to be perfect, but it definitely has to be pretty. I hope to see every single one of you all at the Applique Getaway. Bye.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.